Did I get you guys? Did you think I didn't have a mic again? Good evening, everybody. How's it going? Uh, Welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you guys coming in. Hey there, K-Bell, Bird, Pigeon, KKGG, Aussie T. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Let's hop right into it today. Operational information as of 10 p.m. November 13th, 2024. The defense forces continue to courageously defend Ukraine. Since the beginning of the day, there have been 151 combat clashes, a nice step down from the 180 yesterday. Airstrikes are holding stable right around 70 for today, using 115 bombs. Kamikaze drones are staying high with 787 kamikaze drones used by Russia and almost 3,859 artillery strikes on the positions of Ukrainian troops and population centers. Definitely seeing a increase in the kamikaze drones and artillery. The number of clashes and the airstrikes are fairly stable at this point. In the Kharkiv direction, the occupiers carried out 8 attacks during the day near Voschansk and Vysoko Yarga. 3 clashes are still ongoing. Vysoko Yarga is a new name for me, so we'll have to find that town. So Voschansk. See, it's not one of these little small ones around here, is it? Unfortunately, I am not seeing it. Here we go. So it looks like Russia tried to come across the border. Vysoka Yarga. Okay. Vysoka Yarga. So Russia tried coming across the border, apparently, into this area. And it is a smaller village. So you have to kind of zoom in to find that one. And those were the attacks in Kharkiv. In the Kupiansk direction, the defense forces repelled 12 attacks. The enemy was active in the areas of Lozova, Kharkivka, Petropavlivka, Koloniskova, Zagaryzova, Krulyanka, and Proshatranivo. Pashani, Kivsarika, Zarozhi, and Boluhuska were hit by airstrikes. That's pretty much the entire front of Kupiansk direction. Horolipka, Petropavlivka, Pishkani, Grulushkivka, Kolonivska is here. Grolivkivka is there. Lozova is here. So basically, Russia is attacked towards every village in this area in the last 24 hours or so. It's almost like, I hate to use this comparison, but Russia is using spin the bottle and it landed in every direction. In the Limansky direction, 8 times the enemy attacked. tried to advance in the direction of Cherniskiva, Zarinchi, Novoyoroblivka, and Terni. Sergivka, Novoyorevka, Yampolivka, and Terni were attacked with air bombs, glide bombs. Lemansky direction, Terni, Yampolivka, Hirohivka is here. That's not the... No, I'm not seeing the other town offhand. Anyways, you know, a lot of attacks, a lot of air bomb, glide bombs being dropped by Russia. They're not giving up just yet. Let me scroll this up. So I am looking at the camera rather than down at my desk. In the Kramatorsk direction, one skirmish took place in the Stupochny area. Servisk and Zanivka were hit by glide bombs. That's another town is new to me. So, of course, Seversk is here. Let me just remind myself of the name of that town, Ivanka. I'm wondering if it's this town here. Oh, no, here. So this was a glide bomb was dropped here and in Seversk. And Stupochny is... Come on, load in. Come on, internet. Come on, internet. Okay, Chasiv Yar. Come on, internet. Anyway, Stupochny is this village here. And just wait for it. There we go. There, it finally loaded. Chasiv Yar, Stupochny is basically right along the road to Konstantinivka. And the attack happened in this settlement area. These are the tailings from the mining operation in the area and gives Ukraine a significant height advantage over the Russian forces. And they have been holding strong against this advance for quite some time. The enemy tried 7 times to penetrate our defenses in the Toretsk direction. During the day, the occupiers attacked in the districts of Neplivka and Toretsk. The enemy carried out airstrikes in the districts of Dashnovi, Toretsk, Mykolivka, Petrivka, Kramatorsk, and Konstantinivka. So, Konstantinivka, glide bomb. Kramatorsk, glide bomb. Okay, internet, you're being really slow today. Or is it just deep state? Come on. So this is Toretsk here. If it ever loads in. So, okay, this is reloading fast, so it must be deep state that's having the issue. So maybe if I turn off and just go to topographic. Nope, Deep State is still having an issue. So let's get off of Deep State and go to militaryland.net. They have a fairly up-to-date as well. So Chasivyar, Toretsk is here. Sorry, it's going to be in. See if I translate that to English. If it does the map. Nope. Okay. So you have to deal with the Ukrainian names here. Toretsk is here. Shcherbiinka is there. Let's see. Nepelivka. I wish this. There we go. Sometimes it just needs a kick in the butt to make it want to work. Nepelivka is right here. And Toretsk were attacked by glide bombs. Oh, those were the two cities with the attacks. Dorochi, Toretsk, Mirolivka, Petri. Okay. So these were the two attacks by Russia. Glide bomb here. Of course, glide bomb in Konstantinivka and in Kramatorsk. See if we could find these other towns. Okay, my eyes are not working as well today. Okay, I think I know where that one is. So I believe it's one of these here. I'm not sure which one. Glide bomb and Petropavlivka. Some of these towns are hard to spot. I'm not seeing the other town offhand. So let's just continue on. Again, 7 attacks in the Tourette's direction. Pokrovsk direction. Since the beginning of the day, in the areas of Sukobolka, Promyny, Lysivka, Krutayar, Hirohorivka, Desheny, Mirolubivka, Petrivka, Novo-Oleksivka, Pustinka, our troops repelled 36 offensive and assault actions of the enemy. One of them is still ongoing. Our troops are taking measures to maintain the designated borders and are retaliating fiercely. Glide bombs were used in Pushinka, Mirnograd, Serebchenko, and Petrivka, and Sukobolka. So Serebrinka is here. But this was in Pokrovsk. So Mirolubivka, and it may be that they were talking about that town, but I think it's a different town with a very similar name. Serebchenko is here. Of course, Mirnograd is here. Petrivka. I'm not seeing the other one offhand. That's why, because they have a Russian unit over it. Krutayar. So Russians bombed themselves by accident. unless, and of course, it could be another town with the same name. There are a lot of towns with the very similar or almost exactly the same name. Don't know what to tell you with that, but again, 36 attacks in that area, and as you can see, Russia is getting rather frisky with the bombing from the aircrafts. According to preliminary data, the enemy lost more than 400 people killed and wounded in this direction. Ukrainian servicemen also destroyed 2 tanks, 3 armored combat vehicles, 10 units of automobile equipment. In addition, 2 tanks, 8 automobiles were significantly damaged. So, definitely putting in the work in Pokrov's direction. And at this time of day, there were 40 combat clashes in the Kharkiv direction. The invaders remain active, trying to advance in the areas of the settlements of Bereska, Ilenika, Novoselidivka, Sonsivka. That's a new one for me. I'll have to try and find that one. Kremena Balka, Vosnetka, Novodormika, Maximilianivka, Delaney, Antonivka, and Katrinivka. 2 anti-aircraft missiles, glide bombs, were dropped on Kharkova. According to available information, the enemy lost 2 tanks, 3 armored fighting vehicles, 13 units of cars. 1 tank and 3 vehicles were also damaged. Again, a lot of action in this area. Aerial bombs, aircraft bombs launched against Kharkova and Katrinivka, Antonivka, Delaney, Ilenika, Sonsivka is this town here. Novoselidivka is here, Novodormika is here, and Vosnianka is here. And you're seeing minor movements, advancements of the Russian occupied areas. The most significant is Antonivka being marked as under Russian control completely. Still fighting in Katrinivka, and still a lot of towns to go. And just to iterate a point, Ilenika. So when they talk about that town, which one are they talking about? It's hard to know for sure. Again, 40 combat clashes in that area today. In the Vermits direction, the occupiers attacked 10 times near the settlements of Rivinopol, Novopol, Trudovi, Konstantinopolski. That one's a hard one. Makarivka. 5 attacks have already been repelled of the 10. So still very active front. And Ramika direction is here. Trudov is here. Maximivka is here. You have to go over here for Novopil and okay, where's the Rivnopil. Russia is advancing in this area, unfortunately. Excuse me. They made a bit of ground in this area here, almost taking complete control over Vinopil. You know, it's not the greatest of news, but it's, you have to take it with a grain of salt because Russia is creating thousands and thousands of men a day. Well, I shouldn't say thousands and thousands, but almost 2,000 men a day to make these gains. Ukraine is trying to conserve their forces and they have to give up land to be able to do that. Just keep that in mind when you hear these reports of Russian advances. In the Orhiv direction, our troops stopped 3 enemy attacks in the directions of Novodanlivka and Novoandrivka. The areas of Natalivka and Zaporizhia were attacked by 4 glide bombs. Oh, of course, Zaporizhia. Orhiv is here, Novodanlivka and Novoandrivka. See if I could find, what was the other settlement again? Natalivka. Let's just take a quick look through and see if we can find. Here we are. So Zaporizhia and Natalivka were hit by 4 air bombs, or 4 glide bombs. In the Dnieper direction, the situation has not undergone significant changes. No losses in positions and territories have been allowed. Ukrainian soldiers repelled 5 assaults by the Russian invaders. At the same time, the enemy launched an airstrike with 20 munitions dropped by aircraft. I'm not sure what the NARS abbreviation stands for. On Kozatsky. That will be an interesting one to find. So again, 5 attacks in this area, but I think Deep State is having problems again. Okay, now that it's loaded, let's see if we could find that town. The one right across the way from Novokokopka. So 20 aircraft launches at this town. Okay, so the start of the Kozak River. Okay. Today we celebrate the soldiers of the 28th Separate Mechanized Brigade, named after the Knights of the Winter Campaign, the 60th Separate Mechanized Brigade of Inguits, the 68th Separate Hunter Brigade, named after Alexei Dobush, the 3rd Operational Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine, the 126th Separate Territorial Defense Brigade, who confidently held the lines and inflicted considerable damage on the invaders. Glory to the Ukrainian defenders, glory to Ukraine, and of course, Heroyam Slava. Go to the air raid map. There's only one air raid really active at the moment, and it's been active for 1 hour, 41 minutes in the Donetsk. Look at Kyiv, and the last one was quite a few hours ago, 19 hours ago. Sadly, I think that means that there's going to be more to come in the coming hours, so Be safe, my friends, in Ukraine. I worry for you every night. um, Blue, if you're here. Oh, I'm going to leave that up for just now. And I'm going to get caught up with chat really quick. Apologize for not speaking for a while, but you guys have been chatting up a storm. Golby, good to see you here. Already starting with the dad jokes. Yeah, I don't know what it is with YouTube and their chat in the last week or so, but it just has not been working to save its life. Not just the problems I had yesterday, but like I've been having to like to be able to talk in other streamers' chats. I've been having to like reload 5 or 6 times until it works. So I don't know if that's a YouTube issue or not, but I'm assuming it is. You know, if you don't have any users blocked, that's probably what it is a stupid YouTube chat thingy going south. You know, message YouTube on Blue Sky and tell them to replace their hamsters. Yes, okay, so it's not just me. You guys are having issues too. I'm not glad you're having the issues, but I'm glad I'm not the only one. Oh, I'll have to ask her what she did to fix the issue with YouTube chat. Oh, Storm. Good to see you, Storm. Hi. A lot of hellos. Storm just wanted to pop in for a minute, get any vaccines you may be overdue on. Sorry, my dyslexia was kicking in, and I was reading that as vacancies. I'm like, what do you mean vacancies? Yeah, I'm all stocked up, Storm. You know, Storm saying, get your vaccines you may be overdue on. Stock up on non-perishable goods. Leave if you're able. Hugs and y'all keep safe. No kisses, Storm? Sorry. Oh boy. I apologize about that one. The starving pygmies. Yeah. Yeah, back here in the States, I am due for a 4-day long winter storm here in South Dakota. So I am all stocked up and ready to watch the snow fall through the window and say, glad I'm not out there. Hi, Katie. Katie's having problems with the chat too. So, yeah, I don't think it's like us individually. I think it's a YouTube issue. Hey, Anna, good to see you. Yeah, I definitely think YouTube is trying to use mice instead of hamsters, maybe gerbils, to run their servers. Yeah, so you'll get it before I do, Anna, but the problem here up in South Dakota, it isn't the snow that falls, it's the snow that blows. Um, we may only get like an inch or two of snowfall, but all of it blows until it finds some place that the wind lets it fall, stay there. And usually that means like the middle of my driveway. Like if I'm on a motorcycle or a bike, I could go through this one little alleyway, but the rest of my driveway is, up over my head. All caught up there. Let me pull up the daily losses for Russia today. And total combat losses of the Russian Federation for the 14th of November 2024, the 995th day of the war. It's sad to think there's only 5 more days and we're at 1,000 days. Oy. Personnel losses of 1,690 today. Not a new record, but still a good amount of people being sent to their death for Putin's pride. For a total of 716,070 casualties. 19 tanks for today. 51 APCs, armored personnel vehicles. 64 artillery systems. Holy criminy, 64. That's a lot of artillery systems to go in one day. 3 MLRSs. That is good to see. MLRS is multi-launch rocket systems. And when you see the vehicles with the rocket after rocket, that's these things. Those things aren't cheap. They're hard to replace. And it's good to see those getting taken out. Anti-aircraft war systems, Russian air defense systems. They took out another one today for 997. Let's hope they can get this number to 1,000 before this number gets to 1,000. No new aircraft, no new helicopters, but 54 UAVs added on to today. 4 cruise missiles added on. And 124 vehicles today, bringing the total up over 29,000. That is a lot of cars that went boom. That's the update information for today. I can get rid of that. There is one story by the Moscow Times that I want to read for you. There's no other real news that has not been said repeatedly over and over again over the last couple days. So this is the one story I want to cover. But before we do that, I want to bring up Zelensky's speech for you. And of course, yes, as always, in Ukrainian with English subtitles. So break out your reading glasses. And it never opens on the screen I want it to
Бажаю
open
здоров'я,
on.
шановні українці.
Okay, this time.
Бажаю здоров'я.
There we go. Professional YouTuber, not me. I thank you for watching anyways.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, українки. Довгий день сьогодні був. Продовжуємо працювати для підготовки нашого внутрішнього плану стійкості, того, що потрібно, щоб Україна вистояла. Сьогодні опрацювали кілька пунктів, зокрема, культурний суверенітет, те, що стосується і культурної спадщини України, і сучасної культури, культурної дипломатії, виробництва українського контенту, і заради цього реальне, дієве об'єднання культурної спільноти в Україні. Це частина нашої сили, це елемент гарантування зв'язків України з глобальним світом. Бувають речі, які не здатні донести іншим ані політики, ані громадські діячі, ані інформаційний простір. Але емоції роблять це, мистецтво це робить. Культура загалом це інструмент, який працює однаково заради людяності в різних частинах світу. Ми маємо приділити цьому значно більше державної уваги, і це буде. Також сьогодні опрацювали пункт внутрішнього плану щодо безпеки в усій нашій країні, в кожній області, в кожній громаді. Це основа, безпечний простір, який потрібен кожній нашій людині. Хороші напрацювання є у Міністерства внутрішніх справ, є у Служби безпеки України. Все обов'язково впровадимо. Вже опрацювали пункти, зокрема, щодо енергетики, детально все підготовлено і щодо нашої зброї, нашого виробництва, нашої співпраці з партнерами. Загалом 10 пунктів, які будуть представлені наступного тижня, і під кожен пункт разом з українським громадянським суспільством, разом усіма, хто готовий доповнювати раціональними ідеями з бізнесу, ми підготуємо фактично базовий доктринальний документ для України, для нашої стійкості, з чіткими додатками, покроково. Те, як ми спрямуємо наші внутрішні можливості заради української перемоги. Заради того, щоб ми мали право на це слово перемога. Ми всі, кожен українець, кожна українка. Мільйони людей, які мріють про завершення цієї війни справедливо для України і працюють заради цього, воюють заради цього. Сьогодні була доповідь головкома Сирського, як і завжди, саме з цього починається день, не тільки Донеччина, ще й Куп'янський напрямок. Наші воїни там спрацювали дуже ефективно. Я вдячний усім за стійкість, південні напрямки, Курська операція. Пишаюсь усіма нашими людьми, кожним підрозділом, який тримає позиції і забезпечує Україні можливість переконувати світ, переконувати, що люди мають виграти. Саме те, заради чого б'ється Україна. Я дякую всім, хто нам допомагає. Дякую всім, хто з Україною. Слава Україні!
Героям слава. And again, back to
Б'ється Україна. Я дякую всім.
Thank you to everyone who helps. That's me, that's you, that's anybody who's donated to NAPO Stipping Brigade, to Razum for Ukraine, to get, together with Ukraine. If you're helping Ukraine, this man is here thanking you every day for your help. Keep it up. Keep him saying thank you to everybody to help, because it's your donations that have made the difference in this war for so many. I don't care who you donate to. I'm not going to say this place is better to donate than the other. Donate how you feel you need to. But if you can help, help. I'm not kind of at a loss for words after that. I don't know what to say. But for a president to sit there and say this every day, to make a point to thank everybody that helps. He's not thinking other countries. He's not thinking the U.S. He's not thinking Germany or Britain or Canada. He's thanking you. So keep it up, guys, gals, everybody, folks. Keep it up. Keep it going. Oh boy, the Moscow Times. Oh, what do we have here today? Yeah, this is my delve into mainstream media, mass media, whatever you want to call it. And it's about Russia's real estate market rocked by the end of generous mortgage subsidies. Um, Basically, it's finally hitting them in the wallet. Um, Russia's real estate market is being rocked by the end of the generous mortgage subsidy program that has been running for years and was used by the Kremlin to stimulate the economy since the start of the sanctions. In July, the government ended the scheme that kept mortgage rates at 8% since its introduction in 2020. Since its introduction in 2020, at a time when the Russian central bank's prime rate had climbed to 19% and was expected to rise further. Uh, the low borrowing rates caused a boom in real estate and construction sector that helped maintain employment and boost economic growth, which became more important after the West imposed extreme sanctions on Russia following the invasion of Ukraine in 2022. You're starting to see where you get where this is going. Um, However, the booming housing market also contributed to rising inflation, which peaked at over 9.1% inflation in July alone. Um, it fell off in September to 8.6. Um, okay. In the meantime, rental prices are already soaring to take into account the new realities and have created a perfect storm for housing affordability. This is in Russia again. The abolition of non-targeted preferential mortgage schemes and the increase in loan rates have pushed housing beyond the reach of many, while rental costs have surged across the country. Sound familiar? The one exception where subsidies are still available is with the family mortgages for families with more than 3 children as part of the Kremlin's ongoing efforts to counter Russia's demographic problems. Um, some of you may know or may not. Shortly after um, Ukraine retook a lot of the land that Russia occupied, the Kremlin issued a reinstatement of an old award for women in Russia. And that award it was the heroine of Russia, or something, the female version of hero. Um, the Heroine of Russia award. And it was like 20,000, it was the equivalent of like 20,000 US dollars. And it was awarded to women that had 10 children on her 10th child's first birthday. Russia is literally paying women to have babies in mass. The only way Russians can afford a house now is if they have 3 or more children. Basically, this mortgage scheme propped up Russia's economy until now. It So 70% of mortgage loans in Russia we're on this subsidy. 96 for new buildings. That is all going to go away. Yeah, 6.2 billion rubles, or 6.2 billion US dollar equivalent, into subsidizing those loans to have people employed and have housing. This all is going away. Yes, this is because of sanctions. There are counters to the sanctions, and this was one of them. But now this is going away. The sanctions will actually finally start to work. Ukraine is making more ground. Well, I shouldn't say it that way, because yes, Ukraine is giving up ground to save their troops, but they're also costing Russia enormous amounts of personnel and equipment right now. The sanctions are about to finally start really hurting the economy of Russia. And it's unfortunately now that people that don't understand how the economy works are coming in and saying, oh, that's time for ceasefire and lift sanctions. No, now's the time to push them harder. I'm not going to link the site. A lot of this is percentages and jargon that most lay people will not understand or care to hear about. But yeah, this is effectively the equivalent of the U.S. government disbanding Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and getting rid of first-time home buyers discounts. This is going to hit hard. Oh, set it up here. Let me find this one stat really quick. In Moscow, salaries were about $1,643 a month. Twice the national average, by the way. And then we come back down here. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Moscow is now $709. So half of the average income in Moscow is now needed to just pay rent. And it's only going to get worse. Oh, I'm going to cry a river, I'm sure, but unfortunately the same thing is happening here in the US, but for different reasons. Housing prices here in the US has skyrocketed in the last few years. It is what it is. No new air alerts. Okay. I know it's US news and I shouldn't talk about it on my Ukraine stream, but the way the housing market is in the US right now, I could not afford to buy the home I live in right now, even if I was still working and making the money I made before. Put it into perspective, I'll say a friend of mine, he's in the IT industry, makes over $150,000 a year. He bought a second home 7 years ago. He paid 250,000 for the house and had a 3% interest rate on his house. That house is now worth over 700,000. He looked at refinancing and cannot get a loan for less than 7%. Even with making $100,000, over $100,000 a year, he could not afford to buy his own house again. That's how nuts our housing market has become in the U.S. So, yeah, the same thing's happening here, but for different reasons. And again, Russia's feeling the pinch from their housing bubble, or whatever you want to call it. What's going to be interesting is, people started building these high-rise apartments. But with the bottom dropping out of the subsidy, I'm wondering if, in a year, we'll start seeing construction companies in Moscow close and have half-finished buildings where people bought apartments but can't move into them because the building's not finished. That's going to be an interesting situation. So, it is what it is. And it's something to watch for as things come up in the future. So, unless anybody has any questions, let me stop that. I miss that view so much. K-Bell, I'm already working on it. As long as that commune is in Ukraine, I'm all in the KKGG. My brain's seeing what I want to see right now, apparently. Yeah, there's a property I'm investigating and looking into. I'm not going to show the property on stream because, two of the other properties that I showed on stream that I thought about looking into were bought within 24 hours of me showing them on stream. And one of them was 2 hours. So one of you guys, one of you. LJ did send me a dad joke for you guys that I said I'd read it if she wasn't here today. I apologize in advance. Did you know saying I'm sorry and I apologize are the same? Unless you're at a funeral. And with that, I'm going to say good night, folks. Thanks for coming to the stream. Especially thanks for supporting Ukraine. And have a good night and stay safe, everybody. Oh, Razum de Peremojimo.